Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Misty and I'm going to show you how I made this. It's not really a Valentine's card. It could be a many occasions card, I guess. But I'm using the Fawning Over You by Memory Box, the You Matter stamp set and die by Simon Says Stamp, and then the Wonky Stitch Rectangle by My Favorite Things, and the banner is also from Simon Says Stamp. I am using the Nina Desert Storm 100-pound cardstock, and I'm going to put it in my mini Misty here. And I'll put links to all the items I used in the description below. And of course, I'll have more info over on my blog if you want to check that out. So I just made this card, so I knew where I wanted everything. But I'm still going to use my Misty just because I love using this little contraption here. I am doing one deer at a time because I wanted them to be nose to nose, and you know, stamps have like a little extra material around the part that stamps, and so I couldn't quite get them nose to nose if I put them in there together, so I just decided to do one at a time, and then that way their cute little noses could touch. And I'm actually going to use my Prisma colored pencils to color these cute little deer. And I'm trying to use colored pencils more this year. It's one of my crafty goals for 2017 is to practice more with colored pencils because I haven't really, I haven't used them all that often. I just in coloring books. So I'm using the Lawn Fawn Lobster is the name of the color, and it's a beautiful red. I love this red. It's whenever I need a nice bright red, this is what I reach for. And for the rest of the images, I'm just using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. That's what I usually use for all my images. And just for the sake of time, I'm just going to color one of the deer since I colored them both exactly the same. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Okay, little side note here, I am having issues with my videos lately and my big old melon being in them. I don't know why. I don't remember having this problem before, but lately my videos, my head is in most of my shots, and by the time I try to cut it all out, I've basically cut out the whole video. So I am working on that. I just ordered a extra piece that's hopefully going to help me bring my camera down a little bit further so my head won't be in the way. But so that is my side note. I'm working on it, and yes, I'm getting my hair colored tomorrow. So I know I keep seeing my hair and it's like, oh God. Yeah, anyway, if you hadn't noticed it, now you do. I need to get my hair colored. But I am tomorrow, so you'll be happy to hear that. Hopefully you won't be seeing my head in my next one. And I really do try to get these videos down to a decent time, but there's just so much I want to share with you guys. I mean, I hate cutting out, you know, so much of it. So I'm sorry that my videos are always kind of on the long side. Hopefully I don't lose you along the way. Here I'm just adding a little bit of a darker brown to add some shading. I only use 2 colors on them. It's, you know, with Copics you usually use 3, but with the colored pencils, I always just use 2. Just this week, I finally got the, I think it's Faber and Castell, or Faber, I've heard people call it Faber and Castell, the Polychromos colored pencils, and I am in love with those pencils. They are, oh my God, they're just fabulous pencils. I just did a haul video on them a couple days ago. You can, if you click on the link in the upper right hand corner, it'll take you to that video. And I did a little testing to test out the colors in that video. But really, really great colored pencils. Really smooth and really creamy feeling, and um, yeah, I love them. And I originally was planning on getting rid of these ones once I purchased um, the polychromo pencils, but I have now decided I'm going to hold on to both of them because the Prismacolors are a wax-based pencil, and the polychromo pencils are an oil-based pencil. And I really wanted to just play with both of them, just to get to know both of them, and just see if I can tell the difference between the two and try them both out together and see how they work with each other. Because I think they work really well together. So that'll be fun to play around with too. So I'm going to hold on to the Prismacolors for now, and definitely cannot wait to play around with the polychromo pencils though. Hopefully I'll have something to share soon. I also used some Gamsol. With the Prismacolor pencils, I really like the look of the Gamsol with them. With the polychromos, you don't really need it. It makes it has that nice smooth look to it, even without the Gamsol. So, but I definitely love it with the Prisma colored pencil. So I'm going to use it on this one here. They're really fun. Colored pencils are fun to work with. I love how that tree turned out with the lighter in the center and darker around the edges. I like how it turned out. So yeah, so here's the Gamsol. I'm just going to add it to all the images, and it just gives it a nice smooth look. I think you can still tell it's a colored pencil, but I don't want to say it makes it look like a marker because it doesn't, but I don't know. It just gives it a smooth look, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely like using it with the Prisma pencils. All right, so I'm going to do this banner here, and I love white on craft paper, white colored pencils on craft paper. So I did the white around the banner and then added some color to the inside of the little triangles. And I went with a pink and kind of reddish color because I had intended this to be a Valentine's card. So I was kind of, thinking pinks and reds, but then when I looked at it with the sentiment, I realized that it didn't say anything about Valentine's Day, so it could just be, just a card letting somebody know that you love them. Another cool thing about keeping both sets of pencils is the polys are more translucent and the Prismas are more opaque. So I think they could work really well together. If you wanted to go over a darker color with a lighter color, you would use, the Prismas to do that instead of the polys. But right here, I'm adding the Copic multi-liner around the little pennant here, because I went over the stamp part with the colored pencils, and it kind of made it lighter, and I wanted it to be nice and bold and black, so I just went over it with a Copic multi-liner. Those pins are great, or even a fine Sharpie is great to make things stand out. And I just like going over, images with the multi-liner or a really fine Sharpie just because it brings out that black. And then I didn't really like the dots, spots on the back of the deer, so I just took a white gel pen and went over the whole dot so you couldn't see that there was a dot there. Or a spot, I guess I should say. They're not dots, they're spots. All right, so once I got the coloring done, I went ahead and cut out the U die by Simon Says Stamp on some red scrap cardstock I found in my stash. And then I just picked out a sentiment. I wanted a different sentiment just because I had just made this card, and instead of having two of the same, I just decided to pick a different sentiment for this one. For this one, I went with the Make Me Smile, so you make me smile. And I have banners all over the place here. I wasn't quite sure which size I wanted to use. The sentiment I went with was smaller than I had thought it was going to be, so I didn't use the biggest banner that I originally thought I was going to use. I used a little bit smaller one. And then of course I have the U die, which I absolutely love, that scripty font look to the U. And that was from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm just going to use my Zig 2A glue pen on the back of this. And this is a great glue pen to have for thin sentiments like this, where there's not much room to put glue. That Stick It works really good for these too if you want to just turn it into the whole thing into a sticker. I always forget about that though. All right, then I just used a white embossing powder. And I'm going to glue that down. And I always, whenever I heat emboss on black, it's a good idea to take a microfiber and wipe it off if you use the anti-static powder, because it's amazing how much brighter that black, the white on black, will be if you wipe off that excess anti-static powder. So I just trimmed that down so it was the same size as my card front. And I'm going to use the Be Creative double-sided adhesive. I decided to add some craft foam onto the back of it to pop it up a little bit. And then I found I had to dig for that. I had a piece of scrap cardstock to do the U die, but then I wanted a red border, so I had to dig around for a piece of that, you know, kind of darker red to match the U. I think, I can't even remember. I think that might, is that from Lawn Fawn, that red paper? I don't know. I'll list it down below once I figure out what kind of paper it was. And then I'm just going to use the Spectrum Noir glitter pen. I'm adding that to the U and also to the heart, just to give it some sparkle. And to finish off the inside of my card, I am going to go ahead and cut out that scalloped rectangle. I just recently got that die from Gina Marie Designs. It's a really great place to get nice dies for inexpensive. They're good quality dies, and she has a lot of really cool shapes. So I'm going to put that on the inside to finish it off on the inside, and then to finish off the outside, I'm just going to add some glossy accents to the heart there. And I had already put the Spectrum Noir glitter pen glitter on the heart, so putting the glossy accents on top just makes it that much prettier. I love the Spectrum Noir glitter pen. The amount of glitter it puts out is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love my Wink of Stella pen too, but I don't know, this pen on the red, it just, I loved how much glitter it put off. So, and that is my card. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. And if you want more info, you can check out my blog. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.